Hello, hello, and welcome to That Plant Life podcast. I'm Dr. Nick along with,
Rachel Renee.
and we are so excited to bring you this episode of That Plant Life podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about our own plant journeys. So, we thought it would be a great idea to just share our own plant journey so that you understand who we are and why this life is so important to us. So today, Rachel's up first to interview me so that I can share my plant journey story with y'all. So, Rachel, take it away.
Yes, and I'm excited to do this interview with you because I don't think I know the fullness of your plant journey myself. So here we go. Dr. Nicole, what is your first memory of your involvement with plants?
Okay, so my very first memory of involvement with plants would be from my parents. My dad he had a community garden when I was really little. I don't even remember what age I was, probably like 5, 6, 7, like in that age range. And we had this community garden and we would go and everybody had their own little plot. And I remember him taking us and we would water the garden and till the ground and plant the little rows. And then my mom would take the harvest from his garden, and she would do canning. So we would have like the canned green beans. Those are the ones I remember the most because I got to like snap the peas. So that's the part that I remember the most of my mom. But she used to can a lot of different things. So they are my first memory, mom and dad. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I think you've already touched on this, but along with your parents, like who have been some of the most influential people in your life in terms of plants?
So along with mom and dad, it would be my dad's sister, my auntie Ginger. She also had gardens when we were growing up in her backyard. And now Aunt Ginger has so many plants, I don't even know how many plants Aunt Ginger has, but every time I would go to her house, that would be the thing. Like when I first got there to go and look at all the plants that she has. She has all kinds of different plants, and she has plants that really have a lot of history because they've come from other people, like in our family, that have passed the plants down to her. So some of them are like 40 years old. So she's the one. And really all of my aunts, my dad's sisters, they all love plants too. Um, that's that's the thing. I guess I got it honestly.
You certainly did. It's in your blood. And I
Yeah.
mean, Aunt Ginger's influence has stretched so far that I have a baby Aunt Ginger plant right behind me. The little blue, oh, that's a propagation you gave me from one of your Aunt Ginger's plants. So her reach is reaching.
Yes, 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 yes. So Aunt Ginger gave me a plant, and I gave Rachel a clipping of the Aunt Ginger plant, and we both named our plant Baby Aunt Ginger. So, yeah.
I love it. That's so amazing. So you have all these amazing plant parents in your life. So when did it go from you just kind of observing and being part of their journey to really having your own plant life?
Wow. Well, it kind of happened in, I'm gonna say, like spurts. I remember, and all of the spurts, actually, now that I think about it, centered around some type of loss. So, like the first time around that I remember actively having a lot of plants to take care of, this was my dad's funeral. I had kept my dad passed in 2011, and I had kept some of the plants from the funeral, and I had them lined we had like a big bay window, and I had them lined there. And then, of course, I started to buy a few, but honestly, it didn't really stick. Like, I loved it and I loved taking care of them at that point, but it wasn't something that I kind of held on to. And then I remember like other little times where I would get a plant here and there, and it didn't stick. But I would say the turning point when it truly became a part of my life consistently was 2020. COVID, that is when I just started buying them and kept buying them. It's like I just kept going, kept on, kept on. I kept buying them. I kept buying them. I kept buying them. And I think that's partly because, so much was going on in 2020. I had an injury. I had everything that was going on in the world, and taking care of plants just kind of became that almost like escape, a little getaway where I could just kind of go into my own little space, my own world, and it just kept growing and growing and growing from there.
Mm, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to that because it was a really pivotal time for a lot of people. Obviously, huge transitional time. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that kind of turning point in your experience. So, what would you say, or how would you say you've grown as a plant parent?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say that I've gotten more flexible as a plant parent. Like, I remember I had purchased a plant after my cousin was killed, and I put the plant in a pot that had his favorite football team's colors, the Saints, and I was so excited about this plant. It's kind of a rare plant. I got it home and I just wasn't able to care for it because I was going through so much as far as just the grieving process and just being sad, battling a little bit of depression after losing someone and being reminded of other losses in my life. It was a really difficult time. And so I think as far as growing as a plant parent, I have grown in my flexibility and what I can do and knowing my capacity, like what I can handle as far as taking care of plants and yeah, just having a little bit of grace with myself. If something doesn't work out, if a plant doesn't make it, I'm not quite as devastated anymore. It's just kind of like, this is a part of life. This is a part of the process. This is, you can start over. You can begin again. So that is probably the major way that I've grown, along with just learning the ins and outs of taking care of different kinds of plants.
That's amazing. That is such a beautiful story. Thanks so much for sharing that. And like, I feel
Yeah.
like that should help like so much in life. Like, I don't know if it's helped you in other areas of your life. I think you said it has, but I can just see how that would help to have that flexibility and be able to apply that same grace in other areas, like just from learning that in terms of caring for plants. Like, hey, it's not the end of the world. I can start over. I can try again. Like, that's just such an amazing life lesson gleaned from being a plant parent.
It really is, especially for people like I know for me, I was kind of like, I had I never really considered myself of having anxiety, but as I have learned more as a mental health professional and, you know, I'm understanding more, I feel like I probably was a little bit of an anxious kid and just like an anxious person growing, as I got older. And I wouldn't have been like this. I would have like sometimes crumbled or like be curled up in a ball crying if something didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. And so it is like the lessons that you learn from taking care of plants are so applicable to life in general. It's awesome. It's amazing.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. So, what's like your ultimate plant life dream?
My ultimate plant life dream. Wow. Okay, so I kind of have two. It's kind of like twofold. One is I really want to have a space where people can come and be surrounded by my plants and my art and have like retreats and coaching sessions and all of that stuff in this kind of like, just my spot where people come and I can serve them, but they're surrounded by this amazing plant life. Um, So that's one. And then I think ultimately for me would be able to have property where like so that's kind of like the business side of things. But personally, I want a home that has land where I can have a big, beautiful greenhouse and, like a nice garden or raised beds and just be surrounded by plants. And then the house has to have, the windows. The house has to have all these windows. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know how I got to be this way, but I like kind of living out a little bit, like country. And so if I could have a house that's on a few acres and I could just have all these plants, that would be amazing. In addition to my little
Hmm.
swanky business where people can come. Yeah.
I love it. First of all, where do I sign up for this retreat space that you have? Because I'm ready to go right now.
Right now, okay, right now, listen, we are trying to plan the first one for 2025. It,
Yes,
it
let's
it probably
go.
won't be my own space in 2025, but hopefully the first one, it's called Renewal. So everybody look out
Hmm.
for it. It's going to be called the Renewal Retreat, and hope to bring it to you in the fall of 2025.
Look, I'm
Okay.
there. It's meant to be. Renewal, Renee is so close. Renewal. It's already
That is
meant for me to
funny.
be there.
I mean, it starts with an
You love
R,
how
like
I'm just, I'm so selfish. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for planning this for me to come.
yes, yes. Rachel got her spot
My
already.
goodness. That's right. My gosh. So, I mean, there's just so much to glean from your plant journey. What is it that you really want people to take away from your plant journey? Like in your heart of hearts, what is it that you want people to take from your journey?
I want people to take away the importance of nurture, like the importance of nurturing themselves because when you are taking care of a plant, like learning a plant, and there's different species of plants and different plants need different things. I think in my plant journey, that's helped me to think of myself in that way. Like I need different things. I need water, I need food, I need shelter, but on a certain day, I might need something different. And so it's like to really be in tune, to really be self aware, and to really slow down and pay attention to yourself. Like, really understand what it is that you need to take care of yourself. I think that if people are inspired to do that, not only from my journey, your journey, and from this podcast, I would be so happy.
That's amazing. Is there anything else you want to share? I'm just loving hearing your. I don't want you to stop talking. So, is there anything else you want to share about your plant journey?
About my story, my plant story, I would say one of the things that I love about my plant journey is the people that I've met, the people that being a plant mom has connected me to. It's really, I don't know how to explain it. On some level in every industry, there's competition, right? There's people want to succeed and they want to do well. So you might find some competition everywhere. But as far as the people who just really love plants and they love taking care of them. They are some of the nicest people. I'm in a plant group here in Little Rock where I'm from called the Plant Friends of Little Rock, and just watching how people interact with each other, how they care for each other. I know there's been several times when someone has come into the group and said, I can't take care of my plants right now because I'm not doing well. And they meant like mental health. They were overwhelmed in life or something was going on and they just knew that they couldn't take care of their plants and they were starting to like sell them off. And people would come in the comments, I'll take care of your plants while you're not feeling well. You can have them back when you get better, and just like watching that community and people really truly caring and understanding and recognizing how important plants are to plant people, like seeing them just love on those people who are struggling. It's beautiful. I mean, and just all the things that we're seeing spring up about plants. I really feel like it has been obviously before 2020, but I feel like something happened in 2020 that there was just like this explosion of plant people everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I feel like that is it's a really special thing to me. I don't feel like I've seen that in a lot of other kind of like hobbies that I've had and or things that I've been into. I haven't seen it in the same way that I've seen in the plant community. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I have to say, I've definitely observed the same thing. And what I've especially appreciated is how helpful
Mm,
plant people are. Like,
yes,
people just are ready to share an abundance of tips and from their knowledge, even share their plants. Like, it's just a beautiful thing. So
it
I
really
love it.
is. Me too. Me too. And you know what else? I'm sorry. You know, one more thing that I keep doing. I keep trying to make people plant moms. So so I like clip plants off and just give it to people. Like I think I might have done that to you, Rachel. I'm not really sure but I think I might have tried to push you into being a a
Oh, you
plant mom.
definitely did.
She's like, "Oh, it's not you. You kinda you did it. You did it."
Oh my goodness. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your beautiful plant life journey. And I
Thank
know we'll continue
you.
to share more as we continue with the podcast, but I just love hearing your story and all the gems that you've picked up along the way.
Thank you.
Well, again, Nicole, I just thank you so much for sharing your story. And to everyone watching, listening, I hope you have enjoyed her story as much as I have. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to that Plant Life podcast. That is our handle across all social media platforms. We truly enjoy having you. And Dr. Nicole, before we go, how can people get in touch with you?
Sure. You can connect with me on all social media platforms at Nicole Pertiller. That's it. It's just my first and last name. So we'll put it in the show notes for you so that you make sure you can get there because aside from that Plant Life podcast, I'm also a mental health coach and have coaching services and the retreats, like I said, and workshops and things like that. So come and take part of all of it.
Yes, make sure you connect with Dr. Nicole. She has a wealth of information to share. Her posts are so encouraging. She gives life on a daily basis. So please make
Mm,
sure you follow her and connect with her. And I just want to thank you all again for joining us. We love having these conversations with you. And remember to stay rooted in wellness. Bye.
bye.